We're underway. The UC Davis 2023-2024 season. Sydney Burns with the first shot of the UC Davis season. Academy of Art, the opponent today. Division II school, of course, their campus right in the heart of downtown San Francisco. They play in the Pac West, and it is Rivera Ayuso with the shot straight away, and that's off the back rim. It's a lot of noise early. Kids are revved up. They're excited for the start of the basketball year. Aggies doing what they did last season, that's starting the year with a school day game. They did that against Bethel College last year. Here's a step back three by Ashana Hims, and that misses off the side rim. And the rebound by UC Davis. Hines is one of the few returnees to this Academy of Art program. They only returned 2 players that saw minutes last year. They only had 8 players in the rotation all season a year ago. Hines on the back cut, tipped away by Burns. UC Davis has a lot of high hopes for this year. They were picked to finish 3rd in the Big West in the preseason poll. Just a few seasons removed from winning 5 straight Big West championships, but the league has made a lot of headway. They have accrued a lot of talent over the years, and they have caught up to UC Davis. Sydney Burns is on the ball. This starting lineup for UC Davis, all returners from last year. The only key loss from the starting 5 for UC Davis is Tess Sussman, the graduate transfer from Harvard, who played 1 season in an Aggie uniform. She is still going to school here, finishing out her master's in business. This is tipped away by Turner, but she only had 1 year of eligibility left, so she has left the program, the UC Davis women's basketball team. Sable misses, rebounded by Sydney Burns, but Sydney Burns is able to slot right into that starting lineup for the Aggies. Still looking for their first points of the morning, however. We've got a travel call against Rivera Ayuso for Academy of Art. We talked to Jen Gross during our conference call yesterday, preparing for this broadcast, and much like last year, this UC Davis team is going to try to run as much as possible. Here's Tova Sable on the post entry, gets to her left hand, and she picks up right where she left off a season ago. Sable, who really emerged as one of the top players in the Big West, the transfer from Penn State. Steps called against Academy of Art, and fittingly it's Sable that breaks the seal on the season for the Aggies. Sable and Turner both picked preseason on the All-Big West squad. Good ball movement. Mozzie Harris can't hit the 3. This crowd is ready to explode with every make the Aggies can muster. They only have made 1 so far. Slow beginning, partly to be expected. Aggies trying to shake off the rust. Norris rebounds, outlets it to Sydney Burns. Chest pass Sable in the corner. She attacks hard on the end line and missed the layup. Got her own miss though, and Tova stays with it. Sable All Big West honorable mention a year ago. Averaged 12 points a game, but she had a barrage in the last half of the year from 3 and became one of the go-to scorers for the Aggies. Now a 2-on-1 fast break, and the Aggies turn it over. Burns with her pass, it's intercepted by Lucia Ravenga for Academy of Art, who has a lot of international players, many from Spain. Here's Maddie Morrow with the ball, hands off to Rivera Ayuso. So 4-0, UC Davis leads. A rusty beginning for both sides. This is the First game of the year for each team. Academy of Art, this is technically an exhibition game, so it won't count against their overall record. And now a big moment. Lena Svanholm is checking into the game, the 7th-year senior. A terrific story. She's the only player in Division I women's college basketball that is in a PhD program. And Lena makes a return. She didn't know if she was going to be back. She thought her career might be over in college basketball. Turner on the back cut lays it in. And those are the first points for Evan Turner. One of the great players in Aggie history, rounding out her career. But more on Lena. She tore her ACL weeks before the start of last season, in which would have been her final season in an Aggie uniform. Burns has it stripped, another turnover against the Aggies. And here comes Ashana Hines, who's from Manchester in the United Kingdom. And she flips it over the head of Sifawi. It's a turnover, and the ball goes back to the Aggies. Academy of Art has started 0 for 5. Turner on the near side with it. And so Lena missed all of last season with the ACL, but she still kept a glimmer of hope that she was going to be back at some point. And there is her first bucket in her return with the left hand. Svanholm was able to get into the Aggie PhD program because she was in the master's program here at UC Davis. But the question was whether she would be able to continue academically after recovering from the injury. She was. She got the waiver. She's back for another year, and she's on the board. It's 8-0 UC Davis after the first 5+ minutes of their season here on ESPN+.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or step up to GMC with 3.3% APR for 5 years on select 2023 Sierra models.
Get low prices and early Black Friday deals at Target.
You know Signorama as your local sign shop. We are. Our neighborhoods have small businesses, schools, and stadiums, and they all need signs. We have the solution when our neighbors need vehicle graphics, monument signs, and even huge channel letter signs for their storefront. We're here for all signage needs, from concept to fabrication and installation. Sometimes we even bring out the big guns. Signorama for all your...
What a crowd inside University Credit Union Center. You can hear them loud and clear, I'm sure, on our broadcast. It is an early morning tip for both teams, but you can't tell by listening to all the young fans we have in attendance today for the first game of the season. It's the opening day of college basketball nationwide. The Aggies will have 2 teams playing on the hardwood today here at home. It starts with this UC Davis women's basketball opener, and then later tonight, the UC Davis men's basketball team tips off their season against Jessup University, formerly William Jessup, and they have now changed their name. And so a couple games against non-Division I schools for the UC Davis men's and women's basketball teams to open their season, and then on Thursday, they both will play Division I opponents. Portland State for the UC Davis women's basketball team, and then Pepperdine for the men's team. Turner for three. Evan Turner, one of the most prolific three-point shooters this conference has ever seen. She has hit more threes in her career than any other player that has come before. Epps with a steal at the point of attack. Here comes the sophomore Nia Epps with a left hand, missed it. Gray crashes hard on the glass. Here comes Tova Sable, gets a step on the end line, and it's a 13-0 start for the Aggies. They've held Academy of Art to 0 for 5. And Jessie Clark wants an early timeout to stop the run. Aggies were a little slow coming out of the gates, but they picked up the pace recently. They've been able to force some turnovers. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. With about 4 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter, UC Davis 13 and Academy of Art nothing. Today, kind of a warm-up for the Aggies, as a lot of teams do in their openers, and then the season really starts in earnest on Thursday when they take on Portland State. The Aggies will be the nightcap of that game. On 2:30, the UC Davis men's basketball team will take on Pepperdine, and then at 5, the Aggies will take on Portland State here at home. So a big week of Aggie athletics. You've also got the UC Davis men's soccer team that just punched their ticket into the Big West Championship game. And that game coming up on Saturday. The Aggies have never made it to the NCAA tournament in soccer, so exciting times here on the Davis campus. Crossover season for UC Davis and all college athletics. Winter and fall sports always makes for a hectic time in collegiate athletics. Here's Maddie Morrow for three, and Academy of Art is on the board. Morrow, the freshman from Christchurch, New Zealand. Most of the players for Academy of Art are international. Epps tries to shovel it off for Svanholm, and she stepped out of bounds, I think. Nia Epps, the sophomore from El Cerrito, was the only player in last year's freshman class for the Aggies. Averaged 4 points a game. Sifawi drop steps to the baseline, and Svanholm played the defense. Campbell Gray the rebound. Up ahead, Tova Sable buries a three. Tova, originally from Sweden, spent the first 2 seasons of her career at Penn State. Foul called against Epps. And then last year, in her first season in Aggie uniform, came on strong, and she and Evan Turner developed into one of the premier 1-2 punches in the league. We have another return to basketball after a devastating knee injury. It is Bria Shine who has checked in for the Aggies. The junior from Sacramento, there she is, 41 in white. She also missed all of last season recovering from a knee injury like Svanholm. And so that is, I'm sure, a very emotional moment for both Shine and Svanholm that they are both back on the court. And a nice moment here on the court. We have a bit of a clock issue, or maybe a substitution issue, because Dion Lewis is delaying things. That's our head official, Dion, right there in the middle. UC Davis 16 and Academy of Art 3. Academy of Art, the Urban Knights. And so the officials conferencing. And so we have a slight delay in our ball game with the Aggies leading 16-3. I'm assuming this is a clock issue. Dion Lewis, Alex Carroll, and Katie Bossenmeyer are our 3 officials today. That's what the clock is showing right now. Opening day for everybody. But more on the 2 major additions for the Aggies back with the team this year. All right, Dion Lewis is going to explain things to us. Give me a second. All right, so here's the deal. This is an administrative technical foul called against Academy of Art. Lena Svanholm made 1 out of 2 with the technicals. Academy of Art did not have the correct roster in the scores table book. So they are deemed to have improperly communicated who is on the team, basically, with the scores table. And so they must have checked in a player that they didn't have listed on their roster. And so an administrative technical is issued. And Svanholm goes 1 out of 2 from the line. So thanks to Dion Lewis for coming over to explain that to us. Here's Sifawi going right at Lena Svanholm, and that will count. No, it won't count. We got an offensive foul called. It'll go the other way. Not an offensive foul, it's a travel. It's a turnover nonetheless. Here's a look. Svanholm moving her feet. That drew a lot of applause from the Aggie bench. I mean, Lena Svanholm, it was pretty impressive last year after she had the knee issue, after she suffered the injury, and really just weeks removed from her surgery. She was bouncing around and running as Svanholm on the cut can't finish that time. The rebound by Academy of Art. It was really one of the more impressive sights to see Svanholm rehab from that injury. Fernells knocks down a 3. The freshman from Manresa, Spain. I mean, everybody was just blown out of the water by what Lena was able to do coming back from that ACL so early. I mean, it looked like she could play basketball. That's how incredible her rise back to health was last year. Obviously, she still had a long ways to go, but I remember I was on a trip with the UC Davis women's basketball team, and it had to be, mid-December when I saw Lena in the hotel gym. And again, she only suffered the injury a couple weeks before the start of the season, and she buries that 3. So she's got 6 points. The Elder States woman on this Aggie team, 7th-year senior Lena Svanholm. We got a foul called against Epps. And that's what she can do. She's a stretch 4 or 5. She's the second tallest player to ever suit up in Aggie history. Tova Sable will take a rest. And then started her career at Colorado State before playing out her career here in Davis. Here's Lucia Ravenga at the line. She's from Madrid. A lot of Spanish representation on this Urban Knights team. Misses the second, but Ayuso with a rebound, and she has taken away by Bria Shine. Burns leaves it off. Svanholm with a left hand. 8 points in her return to the court for Lena. Rivera Ayuso. Burns tried to take the charge, not given, but she can't hit in and out. After a slow beginning, the Aggies have certainly picked up the tempo. They turn it over there. That is the 4th giveaway of the opening quarter for the Aggies. Vic Baker has also checked in. 23 in white. And some extended minutes for Svanholm as well, along with Shine. Bria Shine, who tore her ACL during the season a couple years ago, and then missed all of last season. But a great sight to see her back on the court. Bria Shine is around the athletic programs a lot, because as you get a look at Baker there, Shine is somebody that works a lot with UC Davis athletics. She helps with ticketing, work in the box office. She helps out wherever she can in the athletics offices for UC Davis. She runs down foul balls during baseball and softball games. She does it all, but now right back at home where she belongs on the basketball floor. Vic Baker is going to milk this timer down. Baker being hounded by Rovira Ayuso, and finally the foul is given with 7 seconds to go. Baker in her second season, the transfer from UC Irvine by way of Austin, Texas. Baker makes her move, swings it to Campbell Gray. Got to put it up. She does. Airballed the three. Mozzie Harris couldn't hit. Good aggressive crash by Harris on the glass, but she could. Times offensively is when things just really slowed down, and maybe they would force a shot in transition. And she said just really working on not rushing things and making the correct decision when especially they're in transition, which is where they want to be a lot this year. Aggies turn it over here. It's the 5th turnover of the day for UC Davis. Fernels to Lucia Ravenga. Bounced it off. Sifawi with the shot. Sifawi is also from Madrid. Turner shovels it off to Baker. Baker stops on a dime. The pull-up, short, and the rebound tipped, and Norris trying to corral it. Megan Norris fighting hard on the glass, could not get to it, but as Academy of Art was looking to break, Jesse Clark stops it, and he uses a timeout. First-year head coach Jesse Clark at the helm of Academy of Arts, and it's the second timeout used by the Urban Knights today. This will be a 30-second timeout. Jesse Clark, this is his first time being a head coach, but he has been around a long time. 25 years of coaching experience. He also has a lot of experience in this conference. He was an assistant the last 2 seasons, the director of basketball operations at UC San Diego, coaching under Heidi Vanderveer. So he was here during UC San Diego's transition to Division I in the Big West. He's also been at Point Loma for a few seasons as an assistant out in Napa County, San Diego State, St. Mary's. One of his first jobs was as the director of video operations at Stanford. So he has spent time with both of the Vanderveers. He has made the rounds for sure, Jesse Clark, and now gets his chance at the head of this program, Academy of Art. His assistants, Denise Bennett and Tamia Braggs, those are both new coaches as well, and this is almost a completely new team, Academy of Art. Like I said, last year they only had 8 players that played, and just 2 of them returned this year. That is Ashana Hines and Christy Ogide, who we have not seen today. So definitely a rebuild for this Urban Knights team. They play in the Pac West with the likes of Hawaii Pacific, Azusa Pacific, Hawaii Hilo, Dominican out in San Rafael. And again, this is technically for them an exhibition. It will not count towards their overall record. It will for UC Davis. Team went 7-18 last year, 7-13 in the Pac West. They actually lost their first 8 games of the season a year ago. But this obviously is going to be the stiffest competition that they have all season, Academy of Art, playing a Division I opponent. Although the UC Davis basketball team, they know not to take this Urban Knights program lightly. They won their first ever game against a Division I team last season when they defeated the UC Davis men's basketball team on this home floor. And it's a little sacrilegious to talk about that, so I won't dwell on it, but that was a major moment in this program. Turner with the ball. Turner kicks it out. Burns, good ball movement, finding the shooter. Burns can't hit. Something we might see more of this year. We got a foul on the ensuing rebound, and it's a hold called against UC Davis. It's called against Megan Norris, the reigning freshman of the year in the Big West. One thing Jen Gross talks about is she wants to see Sydney Burns become more of a scorer this year. Aggie point guard, 13 in white. She's got it here off the turnover. 10th turnover of the first half for Academy of Art. Burns is hip checked and fouled by Baker Bruce, a graduate transfer from Waterloo, Iowa. One of the few players from the States for the Urban Knights. Looked like could be painful for Burns. They almost knocked knees, but looks no worse for wear. Turner gets it. Turner on the attack. Kicks it out. Baker for three. Aggies, as usual, letting it fly from deep. That's now 10 three-point attempts here in the first half. Normally one of the most prolific three-point shooting teams in all of college basketball. Mozzie Harris gets her hands in the passing lane and forces the held ball. The arrow will keep it on this end with the Urban Knights. Maddie Morrow, Ashana Hines both check in. Fowey, good job to split the double team, but couldn't hit the floater, and then she's called for over the back on the rebound. Fowey transferred from Midwestern States. Turner goes back door to Burns and whips it out up top. Megan Norris, she can shoot the three. Bonestead gives it up for Turner. That's a good job of making the extra pass. Norris had a look, but gave it up for a better one to Turner, the dead-eye shooter. Turner 12th in Aggie history in points in her career, and now Norris's outlet stolen by Furnels, and she can hit and make the Aggies pay. Skip pass, Baker. Entry pass, Megan Norris going to work. That's the first shot attempt today for Norris. Mentioned the freshman of the year in the conference last season, 7 points and 5 rebounds a game. She has a lot of talent, does Norris. Baker is called for a foul. Norris, originally from Menlo Park. That was her first season last year, though she had been with the program prior to that, but she was coming back from an injury she suffered her senior year of high school. That's easy to forget, too, that she won Freshman of the Year in the Big West, and she was multiple years removed from last playing basketball when she took the floor last season. Rivera Ayuso takes it to the rim, a nice job to finish there. Aggies here in the second quarter have stagnated a bit. And another foul called. Ticky-tacks being called here early in the second quarter. Here's a tip ball to the near side, heading towards us. Out of bounds off of Academy of Art. 9 points for Sable, Turner with 8, and Svanholm with 8. Hey, there we are. There's Bob. He's been contemplating for a long time what he wants to say. I'm sure we'll hear from him at some point. Here's Norris to the rim. Gross told us last year about Megan as she was putting together that campaign is that she is just getting started in her career in Aggie lore. Miss layup, Aggies run it back. Sable over the top. They keep feeding Megan Norris, and she scored 6 in a row. Hines. Here's a long three. That's from WNBA range, and it hits the side of the backboard by Rovira Ayuso. Academy of Art, 2 for 5 on threes. Harris misses a three. Aggies with the O board, and Turner backs up to the three-point line, misses. Mozzie Harris got pushed to the deck. No foul called, but the Aggies get it back anyway. Revenga is the one that was last to touch it. Bria Shine will check back in. Sable on the inbounds. Had a look, passed it up. And now we got another foul. It's the 4th team foul against the Urban Knights. Over the top, it's Van Holm again. What a find by Turner. Another part of Turner's game that's improved as her career has gone on, and that is her ability to distribute the basketball. And she might have to do more of that this year, taking on some added ball handling responsibilities. On the kick out, it's Maddie Morrow. Now, Rovira Ayuso misses the layup. Bria Shine sends the Aggies on their way. Turner to Burns. Spanholm in the corner for three. Quick release, right down the bottom of the net. Tova Sable looks spry to start the season. She's got a dozen. She had double digits in her last 10 games a year ago. Again, it wasn't always that way for Sable, that she was filling up the bucket, but as the year went on, she got more and more confident in this offense. Here she gets herself to the free throw line. It's caught against Tifawi. Something I'm sure the Aggies won't mind is seeing Tova get to the line. 68% a year ago. And she's also a versatile player because of her size. She can defend multiple positions, which, as most Aggie fans know, is something UC Davis really covets. She can score from the outside. She can score from the inside. Shoot the three ball. She also posts up. And this year, if could be a sign of things to come for her, hopefully for the Aggies, with this beginning to the game. Bria Shine with the three. And good to see Bria back in the scoring column.
Go.
This is last touch by the Aggies. Bria Shine, the local product, played at Christian Brothers. She was a McDonald's All-America nominee at Christian Brothers. Won 3 league championships there. Aggies with the pressure, they force a steal. Rovira Ayuso couldn't keep it in. Turner, behind her back, what a finish! Evan Turner with the sauce. And the Aggies are rolling away from Academy of Art here in the opening half. Just like the first quarter, the Aggies were slow to get going, but they have picked it up, and now Shine with a chance at a pick six. Two players the Aggies have coming back from Big D injuries. Svanholm and Shine both are looking healthy here in the opener in 2023. Overa Ayuso shuffled her feet. Turner on the entry, it's Svanholm, good power dribble, kicks it out to the weak side. Sable couldn't hit, and the Aggies are really starting to move the ball well on offense. That was a terrific find on the backside by Svanholm. Hasn't always been pretty today, but the Aggies are stringing together one of their best stretches to close the first half. They're on an 18-2 run. Here's Amelia Doherty, who's from Daly City. Played at Skyline College, also played at Chabot. Left-handed layup for Ravenga. Turner with it. Extra pass, Bria Shine hits the three. So Svanholm with 10 and Shine with 5, and make it 8 after that three-pointer. And obviously it's a big game for both teams just because it's the opener, but I think more than anything else in this game, it was a big game for Svanholm and Shine. Timeout called by the Aggies because of all they've had to come back from. Both had to sit out and watch all of last season from the bench. In the case of Lena, she didn't know if she was even going to be back on the court at any point in her career. They didn't find out that she'd be back until the spring when she got into the PhD program and she was able to get the waiver for an extra year from the NCAA. And Sable with 14 and Svanholm with 10.
Here we are. Yes, indeed, here we are. Go. No.
Aggies did have an exhibition opener against Cal Poly Humboldt a week ago, which they won 101-50. Foul called against the Urban Knights. And this will put the Aggies at the line. They're in the penalty now. Turner will go to the line. They also did scrimmage against UCLA in the preseason. They went down to Pauley Pavilion to do so, as a lot of teams do. Just during the ramp up to the season, it becomes a pretty common sentiment among college basketball teams that you get tired of playing yourself. And so the Aggies had multiple chances to play other teams. We haven't even talked about their trip to Italy this year, where they played 3 exhibition games and scrimmaged against Italian teams, which Ken Gross said was an extremely rewarding experience. Aggie lead has ballooned to 30. Going back door, Ravenga lays it in.
Go ahead.
Bob, can you hear us?
Yes.
Bob.
What do you know?
I was just so you're really shy the whole game. Turner gets herself to the line. You know, you can't say things, Bob.
I have a lot to say.
Yeah, I know.
I've been saving it up.
The good news is we got a whole half for you to just unload everything that we learned about this team during the offseason. We can talk about all of this. So glad to bring in my partner, Bob Dunning, who is with us.
Forever.
Turner misses the free throw. Again, the Aggies in the bonus. Baker with a steal in the backcourt. Baker takes it and will go to the free throw line. Aggies have forced 16 turnovers against the Urban Knights, who obviously have a sizable talent disparity, but still, Aggies have to be impressed with how active they've been today, as you would expect on opening day. Oh, Vic Baker last year led the Aggies in free throws despite being one of the players not among their leaders in minutes, but she makes the most of every single minute she's out there. Baker hasn't scored yet today, but I think everybody enjoyed getting to know Vic Baker last season. She was a 69% free thrower. She is just a fun player to watch. She brings so much energy to the court. Jen Grosh said she's the fastest player she's ever coached in this program. There's 1 out of 2. Urban Knights can freeze this out and play for the final shot of the half. There's Jen Gross, who today begins her 13th season at the helm of this program. Trailing only her mentor Sandy Simpson for most wins all time in Aggie history. Doherty trying to get some space. Finds Morrow, who buries the 3. With 5 seconds, Aggies have a chance to get a shot up. Baker fires away. That will count, but she came up way short. And that'll take us to halftime. But all things considered, good opening 20 minutes for the Aggies here in the new season. They lead Academy of Arts 52-25. We've reached halftime, and we'll see you with all the second half actors. Mark French, the legendary UC Santa Barbara head coach, won the award 7 times, but not consecutively. But she trails just Mark French in terms of most times she has won the Coach of the Year in the conference. Aggies get the ball first out of the second half, and an interception right off the bat. Luthia Ravenga is the one that gets the steal, but Urban Knights not able to turn it into points. Harris on the skip pass. It is Sable for 3. She had a big first half, 14 points, offensive rebound and a whistle and a foul. And that'll get Megan Norris to the stripe. 52-25, UC Davis leads, 9:36 to go here in the third quarter. Sable with 14, Turner with 13. So you look at the 2 players that every single scouting report is going to be keyed in on for the Aggies, Turner and Sable. They have both filled up the stat sheet in their first halves of the year, at least the first half that counts in the stat sheet. Here's Ashana Hines with the ball. Skips it to Doherty. Up top to Hines. Hines whips it out, and the 3 is airborne. It's short, and Turner with a board. You see Hines, why she's such an important part of this team, Academy of Art. She penetrated nicely there, found a shooter, just could not hit. Here's Mozzie Harris for their first points of the year. Jen Gross said that Mozzie Harris is one of the most improved players the Aggies had. She put in a lot of work in the offseason. She's a player that the Aggies really like having out there because she just seemingly is so fundamentally sound. Sable with the roof, but she is also called for the contact. She's one of the best Aggie defenders. She's versatile, can defend multiple positions, and she can hit the 3. And Jen Gross said she, in all those points of her game, which were already strengths, she has taken another step during the offseason. Doherty at the line from Daly City. And Sable with a rebound. Outlets it to Evan Turner. Pushes the pace. Burns flips it. Norris wide open. Megan Norris has 9 points. Aggies now shooting 53% for the game. Morrow. Norris cleans the glass. Harris tries again. That's a 3 for Harris. Best way to describe Mozzie Harris, what she's brought to this team, is she seemingly always makes the right play. She keeps the ball moving. She's in the right spots. And she's one of the best defenders on the team. Burns stepped right in front there and takes the charge. Rovira Ayuso, the transfer from Fairleigh Dickinson, is called for the charge. So 6 points for Harris. Couple threes here in the second half. Went to Cathedral Catholic in San Diego, did Mozzie Harris. And that is coached, of course, by the great Jackie Turpin, the former Aggie women's basketball star. We have a whistle and a jump ball called and some flexing on the Aggie bench. Mozzie Harris with a nice little run here. The arrow does give it back to the Urban Knights, but Harris showing the full arsenal here in the last few minutes. Type of the aggression the Aggies want. 50-50 ball. That does go the way of the Urban Knights, but Harris made that closer than it originally seemed. Hines with the ball. Penetrates the lane, then throws it into the first row. But was there a foul? I don't think so. But might have taken a deflection. Well, I think it did. Hines will go to the bench. See if they did have a foul there. Well, either way, it's Urban Knights ball. Rovira Ayuso, wide open. Ravenga calling for it, gets it with the left hand. Nice finish off the square. And she will go to the line. Luthia Ravenga, the freshman at 5'10". It's a nice finish with her off arm, working on Tova Sable. This pinball's out of bounds. We'll go back to the Aggies. The Aggies last year finished 16-14, 12-7 in the Big West, 4th best in the conference. They lost in the first round of the Big West tournament to UC Santa Barbara. Blown out. That was a tough way to finish after the Aggies closed the year well. Here is Sable to the rim. She finishes. She's got 16 points. Ravenga, high off the window, no good. But with so many returnees, you know they're coming back with a vengeance. And with that loss, that gave them all the motivation they needed this year. Of course, it's just so devastating in mid-major conference play when you have such abrupt endings to the year. The Aggies, I think, thought they had a chance to win the conference tournament last year despite the up-and-down nature of the season. And instead it just ended with a thud in the conference tournament. But they look good here in the opener. Sable misses the 3. This team is playing with life. They're moving the ball. They seem in sync. And Megan Norris hits a 3. Norris only hit 5 threes all of last season, but that is a part of her game. She just didn't shoot it well a season ago. That's a part of her game that I think the Aggies are anxious to see grow. You've got a whistle and a foul. Bob, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Wow.
It's heavenly.
It's
it's a miracle.
Bob, 5:29 to go in the third quarter. You waited a long time to make your first point of the broadcast.
Well, you know, we were having contract dispute.
I know.
And I said, okay, 5:29 third quarter, I'll go on.
If it's all right with you, I think I'm going to take this next 15 minutes off too. If that's okay. You can tell it the rest of the way.
Go get a soda, get some popcorn. Associate with all these great kids. They'd love to meet you. Sign a few autographs.
I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, it's just what a great day to be on campus, Bob, around University Credit Union Center as this free throw misses by Ravenga. I was coming into the Activities and Recreation Center and the University Credit Union Center area today as Harris misses another three. Bria Shine on the boards, but she got fouled. And there's just so many kids outside on the way to the arena.
Unbelievable, and they're all excited, and they're all having a good time. And we were talking to Jen Gross yesterday, and she said, they went up to Oregon State and a few years ago, and Oregon State had a program like this, and Jen says, we got to do this. And 2,500 people, kids, school kids, signed up for this. And, it includes STEM classes
yep.
and
they've linked it with the STEM fair, which is going all around the University Credit Union Center. There's a lot of different activities for the kids, and then after they were done with the fair, they got to go watch the game.
It's just unbelievable. It's so nice to see this place really rocking and rolling.
This is as loud as this arena is going to get, just with all the energy from the kids, as Turner finishes with a left hand, just blew right past the defense, and then there's another steal for the Aggies. Academy Vart's done a better job taking care of the ball here in the third quarter. And it's a very distinct noise, too. This is one of the more unique atmospheres that you're going to have
it really is
in basketball. It's not your typical crowd and crowd noise. Here's Rovira Ayuso to the rim. Nice take by the Fairleigh Dickinson transfer. And a timeout called by Academy of Art. Well, we're going to hear a lot more from my partner, Bob Dunning, here in the final 14 minutes of our ball game. It's 70-30, UC Davis on opening day.
Get low prices and early Black Friday deals at Target.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
I got a 6th sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you.
Get 1.9% APR. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $1,250 purchase allowance on 2023 Buick SUV models. Plus, no monthly payments until 2024.
The one thing we can never get more of is time. Or can we? This is Watson X Orchestrate. AI designed to multiply productivity by automating tasks. When you Watson X for Business, you can build digital skills to help human resources spend less time generating offer letters, writing job recs, and managing schedules, and spend more time on humans. Let's create more time for your business with Watson X Orchestrate. IBM, let's create.
Okay, get this right, and you get my free ticket to tonight's game. Who is my all-time favorite receiver?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes, Larry Fitzgerald.
Hey, I heard you got an extra ticket to the game tonight. I would love to go.
Yeah, sure. It's all yours, Larry.
Thanks, Billy. I'll meet you out front.
What? Yeah, okay. It's Bob, but okay. Yeah.
You don't know your name, dude.
I guess I'm Bill now.
With Vivid Seats, when you buy 10 tickets, you can get your 11th free.
Good showing from the Aggies here in the first game of the season. Always an exciting time to be around college athletics, as I was saying in the first half. And it's even more exciting today because of scenes like that.
Mind-boggling. It reminds me of when my kids were in junior high school, that age, and they're playing volleyball, they're playing basketball. And you're right, it's a unique crowd noise. You're hearing all those young voices, and they're so excited to be on this campus. What a great they're not trying to recruit, but what a great exposure for all these kids to go to the STEM fair and then to get to, what a treat to come in and watch a Division I basketball.
Well, they did it for the first time last season.
Right.
They played Bethel College in their first game of the year as Nia Epps puts her foot on the gas but didn't get the finish. And Jen Gross said she couldn't count the number of emails she got from children thanking her for putting on that game and how inspiring it was for them as Baker knocks down a three. And she's, multiple people telling her, my daughter wants to play basketball now.
Exactly.
She wants to get involved in youth basketball because she went to that game last season.
Yeah, she said last year maybe 700. This year 2,500 signed up. I can't imagine what it's going to be like next fall.
Turnover against the Urban Knights.
I mean, what a way to kick off the season.
And you mentioned it, Bob, that the idea originated a few years ago when the Aggies played at a school day game against Oregon State on the road. And we'll talk more about that when we come back. 73-32, UC Davis leads. 3:22 to go here in the third.
AI has the power to automate. But if it's using untrusted data, can you trust the results? Your business doesn't just need AI, it needs the right AI for your business. Introducing Watson X, a platform designed to multiply output by tailoring AI to your needs. When you Watson X your business, you can train, tune, and deploy AI, all with your trusted data. Let's create the right AI for your business with Watson X. IBM.
Get low prices and early Black Friday deals at Target.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or step up to GMC with 3.3% APR for 5 years on select 2023 Sierra models.
When I started college, so many people warned me about credit cards. They just seemed really scary. When I needed a car, I realized that I needed to build credit. So I got the Chime Credit Builder card because I could safely build credit without being afraid of fees or interest. And there was no credit check. My score went up over 60 points and I bought my first car. As a busy college student, having a car is an absolute must. I feel like I could do anything. My next goal, a 700.
All Aggies today against Division II Academy of Arts. We're talking about just what a great atmosphere it's been inside University Credit Union Center. The idea, as Bob said, originated when the Aggies played Oregon State multiple years ago, and they had a school day game in Corvallis that the Aggies played in, and they just love that energy so much. Svanholm fires, can't hit. Look at Baker on the glass. She couldn't finish that either. And as you imagine, in Corvallis, you think this was loud with the amount of people they can pack into that arena. Yep. It was just deafening.
Yeah, Gill Coliseum, which is so old they now call it Historic Gill Coliseum because they haven't renovated it. About 10,000 people they can get in there.
And I want to say it was that many kids.
And I think Jen said that they had about 7,000.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Corvallis doesn't have the urban area surrounding it the way we do with Sacramento nearby and, and Woodland and Dixon and Vacaville and everywhere else. Fairfield, for heaven's sakes, this could grow to being a sellout.
Brianna Baker-Bruce whacked Epps to the deck, and Epps will go to the line.
I'm just guessing, looking around, that we're dealing with maybe 4th grade through 6th, 7th, 8th grade, something like that.
Well, where do you think they'd rather be, in the classroom or at this basketball game?
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're making field trips out of this, is
Sure
through the STEM fair and then through the basketball game.
Yeah, just what a great day to be on a college campus for these kids.
Yeah, it was raining earlier too, but skies have cleared for this game and for this whole event as well. Rovira Ayuso runs into Baker, double teamed, and shovels it off. Sifawi to the rim. And
I
Bria
avoided
Shine the
all
rebound.
those STEM classes when I was a UC Davis undergrad.
I think they avoided you, more like it, yeah.
Do not let him in your class.
Nia Epps buries the three. Well, Bob, I've talked so much today as the layup by Sifawi is up and in. We talked to Jen for a long time yesterday. Jen Gross, the head coach of the Aggies. Anything that stood out to you that you want to make sure gets across?
She talked, it's interesting because I talked to both Jen Gross and men's coach Jim Less over, in the last couple of days. Of course, the men's start tonight at 6 o'clock. And both of them said this year we want up tempo, we want aggression, we want to be, merciless on both ends of the floor, and you can really see that in the Aggie energy. They're contesting every ball.
Epps turns it over. A nice ball fake by Rovira Ayuso. Yeah, that's going to be a theme. You come to a game here at University Credit Union Center this year, you are going to be entertained.
Yeah, and this is a veteran team for the Aggie women.
Pinball's out of bounds off of UC Davis, another turnover.
Both have great schedules. The Aggie women have 3 Pac-12 schools on the schedule.
Here's a look at the steal. Nice active hands by the Urban Knights. Yeah, the Aggie men's team, extremely guard-oriented.
Yes.
Same case for this team, too. But this year they get Spanholm back, and they will also have Allie Fitzgerald, a couple centers that they didn't have last year that they can play. But we saw last year for extended stretches, the Aggies would use a very small lineup where Tova Sable would be their de facto center. Here's a three out of the corner that misses.
Yeah, the one thing Jim Less was saying, of course, the Aggie men start tonight, 6 o'clock here against William Jessup out of Rockland. He said, when you're guard heavy, you can play this up-tempo all the time. He said, we can't have guys playing 35, 38 minutes. Elijah Pepper averaged 35 minutes a game. He says, you can't do that unless you've got a lot of guards. We want to play 10, 11 guys on a regular basis.
Doherty with a skip pass. Rovira Ayuso misses a three, and Baker hauls it down. Well, out of both the men's and women's basketball teams, there's not going to be many faster than 23 and white Baker, but a little out of control that time. A sloppy end to this third quarter for UC Davis.
I think these kids are going to go crazy trying to get the Aggies to 100 in the fourth quarter.
That's a nice round number that everybody likes.
Yeah, it sure is.
3 seconds left. Ravenka into the front court with 1 second. Doesn't get a shot away. All UC Davis today here in the season opener at University Credit Union Center. We'll have the final quarter net. Careful.
Be careful.
Gun Rock is popular nonetheless.
Santa and the Easter Bunny and Gun Rock.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And I didn't think you were real for the first half of this game either, but
I was.
It turns out you're just a living, breathing human, and I'm happy to have you alongside for this final quarter.
I was doing laps around
I saw you. I thought that
building.
was interesting. You were doing that during the game as Baker attacks the glass and finishes. First game for both teams. Academy of Art, again, just an exhibition for them as Rovira Ayuso goes to the line. Academy of Art is what a unique school.
Yeah.
Their campus is right in the heart of the financial district in San Francisco.
Right on Geary, I think.
Yeah. I think it's on Montgomery, yeah.
Or Montgomery, yeah. And I remember driving by it one day with one of my daughters, and I said, these guys play the Aggies. Sometimes they play the men, sometimes they play the women. And it doesn't look like they have a gym up there. You know, they got a little sign. They play at Kezar Pavilion. You know,
Speaking of historic venues.
Oh, man. I remember covering an Aggie football game in Kezar Stadium against USF, back when USF had a football team.
Yeah, there's just so much history in the city at places like that. And that's where Academy of Art calls home.
Kezar is where the Seagulls used to come in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, now they've moved to where the Giants play, Oracle Park.
That's right.
Oh, nice behind the back dribble, but she lost it mid-flight. Turner might have gotten a hand on it. Ravenga. Interesting, too, that this roster for Academy of Art, they've got so many international players. A lot of players from Spain. A couple players from the Bay Area, not many. Baker tips it out of bounds.
You know, San Francisco is one of those great international cities. Everybody in the world. You go anywhere in the world and you mention the United States and they want to know about San Francisco.
This is only the second meeting between these two schools. They met a couple years ago as well in the opener here at University Credit Union Center. Now they have also played some exhibition games that weren't counted. Turner short on a 3. Turner with 15 points. She is 5 for 6 from the field. That's only her second miss. Now 5 for 7. On the kick out, 3 is airborne. That's good for Amelia Doherty.
And they've kind of upgraded their logo. They're now Art U. It's very, very clever.
Well, speaking of upgraded branding, take a look at the court.
The court is
here
just
at
beautiful.
Bob Hamilton Court.
I just love the entire state of California, the logo with the big CA. It's taking up about half the floor here. You can see the state of California there. And this big CA, the iconic CA, right in the middle of it.
Baker just hit a 3. Epps with a steal. Aggies with numbers. Good look ahead. It's Tova Sable all alone.
Boy, is she having a game.
She's got 18 points. Again, it's just like last season never ended for her. Yeah, this is a completely new court that the Aggies are debuting here today. And obviously the most notable thing is, as Bob said, that big California outline at center court as Ravenga buries it.
Maybe next year we can get them to play Art U in Kezar Pavilion.
Make it a school day game, huh?
Make it a school day game.
Field trip to Kezar, get a history lesson.
Yeah, oh boy. Who or what is Kezar? Must have been a person of some sort.
I would assume so, yeah.
But
I like it when you ask me questions they don't know the answer to, Bob.
Usually, I figure if I don't know the answer,
that's right.
What's a chance somebody who's a little bit younger than I am?
Well, you know,
but
Kezar.
You're a Bay Area guy.
I am. And, you know, Kezar, they have a number of games that they still play there, including Academy of Art. One of the more popular events they host is summer pro-ams at Kezar. Right. And a lot of times, not a lot of times, but you know, a few times this summer you'll see some NBA players playing that.
Absolutely.
This is Ravenga at the line.
John Brody probably played at
yes,
Kezar.
I would think so.
Hugh McElhaney, Y.A. Tittle, some of those guys.
Know, Kezar is kind of like it's the Hickey Gym of San Francisco. That's what many call it.
Very well put.
Yeah. It's where the Aggies still practice, by the way.
That's right.
Turner goes down, and she was fouled. Well, I want to make sure before we end the broadcast today that we talk about UC Davis. One of the major points of their summer, speaking of summers, as you see this foul against Turner, was that they went to Italy.
Oh my
They followed in the footsteps of the UC Davis men's basketball team last year.
That's right.
And you're allowed an international trip every 4 years.
Right.
And so the Aggies used their trip this season, went to Italy.
Well, I remember last year the Aggie men, went to Croatia and to Italy and around, and then they opened against Cal and beat Cal And the Cal coach said, they look seasoned. You can tell, and everybody gets the opportunity to do that. You can't do it every year.
Doherty hits a three. Epps, that's off the mark, and the Aggies last year, Jim Les talked about how much that galvanized the team before they even stepped foot on the floor.
Exactly.
And especially with last year, the Aggie men's basketball team having a lot of new players, that was big. And this year, now this is a team that has a lot of familiar faces on the club, but it's just an opportunity for some real chemistry to develop, and more than just on the floor. As what a spin by Tova Sable with the left hand. Speaking of Europeans, Tova Sable, who's from Sweden, just hit the circle button on her PlayStation. Look at that spin with the left.
And one. Yeah, you're right. Picking up where she left off last year, she is going to be a force.
Sufawi is called for the foul. She has fouled out. That's why we have a break.
The Aggies won those 5 straight Big West championships, and then it's as if everybody in the Big West picked up their game.
Well, that's what the best teams do, right? They challenge everybody else to make some headway, and that's what all the other teams in the conference did. I think this year it's going to be a pretty up for grabs race in the conference.
I mean, 12-7 is nothing to sneeze at, but for the Aggies, that's an off year.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's the standard that Jen Gross and company have set for this program, and of course all the great players she's had, is that the expectation every year is that they're going to finish at the top of the conference.
Yep.
And like I said, they went into Henderson last year thinking they're going to win the whole thing.
Yep.
And then it just kind of
just didn't happen.
Yeah, the air went out of the balloon pretty quickly.
Yep. There were some long faces after that loss.
Here comes Turner. It's a turnover back to the Aggies.
Dare you to go over to the PA and say if the Aggies hit 100, free popcorn.
That's going to be the big countdown here in the final 5 minutes, Bob, is can the Aggies get to triple digits? They did that the last time they played on this court during the exhibition game. They scored 101 against Cal Poly Humboldt. Sable wide open. Well, she's doing the best she can.
Unbelievable. What a
24 for Tova. She had a pair of 30-plus point games last year.
I think they're going to get there.
She really has the full arsenal offensively. And it's going to be fun to watch both she and Turner in their second year together play off one another. Good ball movement by the Urban Knights. Hines and Norris clears. Yeah, they really only need at most 4 buckets to get there. Turner. They need less than that.
I think they heard us talking.
15-3 of the day for the Aggies.
I can see the kids are pointing at the scoreboard now. They're elbowing each other. Say, look at this. Look at
Bob,
this.
we're wearing headsets, but if they get to 100, Bob, we still might need to put an extra layer on our ears to block out the sound.
I think so.
Over the top. Nice find. Burns puts it right where it needs to go. And Norris with a left hand.
Since we mentioned that, they've scored 8 points in about 40 seconds.
I just saw some of the teachers in the crowd gesture 3 fingers to the kids. Maybe they were using it as an educational experience, too, about how many do the Aggies need to get to 100 now?
It's part of the STEM experience.
How many different ways can they score to get to 100?
Oh, that's right. Let's see, a field goal, safety, extra point.
I think that's a different sport. That's a different sport, I think. We reached our final media timeout. UC Davis close to doubling up Academy of Art. 3:42 to go here in the fourth. All Aggies.
Light up your holidays for less at Target.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or step up to GMC with 3.3% APR for 5 years on select 2023 Sierra models.
The one thing we can never get more of is time. Or can we? This is Watson X Orchestrate. AI designed to multiply productivity by automating tasks. When you Watson X for Business, you can build digital skills to help human resources spend less time generating offer letters, writing job recs, and managing schedules, and spend more time on humans. Let's create more time for your business with Watson X Orchestrate. IBM.
Well, this from our crack research team, and by that I mean Jeff Rebello, who's the Sports Information Director for UC Davis women's basketball. The Aggies with these 98 points, they just took a point away. It's actually 97. So they must have looked at a three-pointer during the break and taken away a point. 97 points. That is the most the Aggies have ever scored in this building, the UC Davis women's basketball team.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is he not counting the 101?
He must not be counting the exhibition games.
Or did they play that in Kezar? They played that one outdoors.
Yeah. The most points the Aggies have ever scored is 110 points. They will need a run to get there, but not out of the question.
No, it actually isn't.
And they're at 97. They took a point away. Bria Shine for 100.
Oh, it didn't make it. Yeah, the teachers can just be having a field day now. Like, okay, is it double? Well, it was almost double. Not quite.
We got a foul. That'll put Megan Norris at the line. No, it won't. The Aggies are not in the bonus, but there was a foul on the rebound, so it'll stay with the Aggies. Rovira Ayuso called for it. Every day is a chance to learn, every experience, Bob.
Yep.
Chance to teach. Burns over the top to Norris. Nice game for Megan. She's got 16. She's only missed one shot.
The other thing about the Aggies here, the ball movement is great. And when the ball has gotten inside, nobody's missing. Using the backboard to perfection.
Yeah, you know, it's always tough to judge when you're a Division I school going against a Division II team. Right. But I think today the Aggies are going to be pretty happy with the way they performed, the coaching staff as well. Shine turns it over.
Oh, the kids are they're getting excited. 99.
Everybody might rise to their feet on the next possession.
Yep.
For Niels was hit by Harris.
Art U out of the Pac West Conference. Boy, there are a lot of schools in that conference.
Good thing about being in the Pac West, much like being in the Big West, you get to get your miles into Hawaii. There's 3 schools from the state of Hawaii in the Pac West.
I wonder if they play them all at the same time when they go over there. They must. Oh, yeah, you can. Everybody wants the Aggies to score now.
Here we go, Campbell Gray. Norris is right there with a left hand, missed it. Another chance, he was blocked but fouled.
They're just keep the suspense going. There you get Westmont, Hawaii Hilo, Hawaii Pacific, Chaminade, all from the islands. Point Loma. Give you $1 if you can tell me what Biola actually stands for something.
Davis?
Biola is
not
in that
Biola
conference.
Davis. Okay.
Oh, no, it's not Biola Davis.
I don't know.
Bible Institute of Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob. It's every day's a chance for me to learn, too.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Do you know what Occidental stands for? Doesn't. Occidental not in that league. Dominicans in the league. You know, a lot of small private schools.
Here we go, Bob. Another chance.
Another chance.
100.
There it is. Oh, there you go. As predicted.
And the crowd goes crazy.
It's just such a phenomenal idea to get all these kids here. Made it a little tough to park, but it was worth it.
What do you think, Bob? Are the kids, do they got to go back to the classroom later today? Or
I don't know how you do that. How could you possibly do that?
Well,
some of them are leaving.
Some of them are heading to the exits.
They think this game is over.
They think so, yeah. You know, basketball's a game of runs, Bob. No lead is safe. That's what they say.
49-point lead.
It's going to be a really similar scoreline to the Aggies had against Cal Poly Humboldt. I'm going to go on a limb and say their next game against Portland State will not be quite this dramatic a difference. Baker has been attacking the glass hard today. Missed that one, though, on the follow.
Not used to saying Cal Poly Humboldt yet.
No, not at all. Here's a three. It's an air ball by Furnells.
Great school up on the Redwood Country on the North Coast.
Burns with 8 assists today. She's got it with right now. That is a career high for her, and it's also a double-double for the woman with the ball. Megan Norris goes give and go with Burns, and then blocked by Baker Bruce.
I think that 110 is going to be safe.
Yeah. Here's a three by Maddie Morrow. And this is last touched by the Aggies. I don't think Campbell Gray agrees, but there's only so much you can say at this point in the game. Campbell Gray came in to UC Davis with Evan Turno, so she too is one of the veteran leaders of this team. Number 3 in white, Hines.
Almost exactly the score of the Cal Poly Humboldt
That's
game.
right. I mean, I actually shouldn't speak so definitively, Bob. Maybe the Aggies will just have this scoreline every game.
Yeah, that may be it. That may be their goal.
Yeah, that would be something.
Humboldt State, of course, a longtime rival of the Aggies in the old Far West Conference.
Norris attacking, tips it out. Gray. Campbell, nice bounce pass to Baker.
Beautiful pass and a great finish by Baker.
This will likely be the final possession of the contest. Fans are making sure Academy of Art knows what the clock situation is. And this will get Revengod to the free throw line. So next game for UC Davis coming up, 5 o'clock tip against Portland State on Thursday. And we'll have all the action for you here on ESPN+.
Doubleheader with the men's team. The men are going to play at 2:30 against Pepperdine.
That's going to be a great day on campus.
Yeah, out of the
Those
West
should be
Coast
two
Conference.
great games, too.
Yeah, two very good teams coming in here.
For the men's side, I mean, it's not often you see a West Coast Conference team play in this building, so that's a treat.
Renzo Romar will be in the building with Pepperdine.
Free throw's good, and that should do it. It is a happy opener for UC Davis, and they send all these kids home happy.
Listen to that crowd.
102-50.